I don't want to drop the iPhone, which would go horribly wrong if I did. So. Okay, folks, so I'm just getting you all set up. What I'll do is I'll move some of these things over. I'll move that because it's a googly eye. Nobody wants the googly eye today. There's only one anyway. I can do a googly cyclops and that's it. So we're doing the file folder folio finale because this is the last time I am going to do this particular piece of work, and we're going to move on to other things and get on with it, basically. Okay, so if you can remember, we've done the insides. So we have done the insides. These insides have been done. Okay, there's no more that I want to put in it. Last week we strengthened the folds on the inside of the outer spines, and we put some fabric on here, and on my part 2 video, basically, I just which is only on my YouTube. It wasn't a live. If you can hear rustling in the background, by the way, that's Brian. He's trying to find his decal edge ruler. I think that's what he was doing. So we stuck the fabric on the spine in the live, and then on the part 2 one, I just kind of just had a chat and tailed the spine. Okay, so every time I say something, I just think about songs that go through my head. I've got Only a Winter's Tale now stuck in my head for some reason, because I said not David Essex. Brian's just gone David Essex. Yeah, so we won't go there. So I like when I made this one, we need to be able to put a ribbon on. Now I could have done that at the very start of the construction, but I'm a real fan of the outside of my journal kind of has to represent what the inside is going to be, and I think it's too limiting to decorate the outside first and then do the inside, because then you kind of it's almost like you can only work within these certain areas, whereas as you've seen when I've done the inside, I've kind of stepped out of I've been thinking outside of the box. I can't think stepped out of the circle or whatever. So I don't like to be penned in too much. In life or in craft, I don't like to be penned in. I like to be free and free to choose. So I like to do the outside at the last thing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I don't know whether it did, but if it didn't, sorry, you're on your own, kids. So the outside means that if I'm going to do it last, it means I've got to find some way to cover up the ribbon that I'm going to stick down, rather than it would have gone inside otherwise. That makes sense. So in order to be able to put it on the outside, it would look ridiculous. Well, not only does it look ridiculous just stuck on there, but also it's not very secure. So you need to be able to have it stuck to a medium that's this side and the other side, if you understand that. So in order to be able to do that, that means you've got to be able to cover it up, which is what this bit was doing on the original one, and obviously on the back. So on the new version, which is a lot chunkier and bulkier, and it's a bit like me after Christmas, it's got a bit fat. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to put some paper down the side. Now, off camera today, I was having a bit of a conflab, if that's the right term, with Brian, and deciding, I'm just going to put something over that light because I'm very aware of it being there, deciding what I was going to use on the outside. Now, these are the ones that I've gone through loads of paper today, card really, and I went through a whole load of things. Now, initially I'd thought about this one, and I would have cut it down here and used some of that so it would hang over the edge of the journal like this, and you'd only see some of this. Brian's making a lot of noise today. It's quite distracting. So I would have been like this, but the reason I rolled it out is I knew what I wanted to put on the outside, and I didn't think it made this pop enough. Okay, so I also thought, well, I'm going to use it I'd like to use it in something else. Okay, so then I came to, I'm going to tell you the ones that I've ruled out first. Then I came to this, but for the same reasons. The background is a very similar colour to the other one, and I don't think it really makes it stand out. It, you know, it stands out, but I don't think it does as good a job as some of the other ones that I've chosen. Okay, so I've ruled that one out. Okay. Then I thought about this, and I really liked this. This was a very strong contender, and I liked it because it picked up a bit of the readiness. It wasn't quite the same, so it didn't make it look too matchy, samey, which is the way that I dress, by the way. I don't like to dress matchy or samey. Hence having two odd socks on, and my bow tie kind of goes with my shirt, but it doesn't coordinate. So I liked the way that this made this stand out, but I didn't think it was as strong contender as this one. Okay, and the reason I like this one is it's picking up some of the colours. It's got a creamy coloured background, which I can kind of age down a bit, and also it makes the background of this, and this is an Edith Holden Diary of an Edwardian Lady cut out, that a fussy cut. Yes, it's one of the ones that I fussy cut. I don't remember whether it was me that fussy cut it or Brian kindly offered. Never mind. Brian cut it, obviously. He's just gone in the background, which means it's him. Although it doesn't look like his style. So I couldn't tell. No, it's definitely his style because it's too neat. It's definitely not mine. The bodged edge. Sorry, what did you say, Brian?
Because it's fussy cut.
Because it's fussy cut, yeah. I don't fussy cut. You all know this. Don't fussy cut. If I could paint, it'd be like ironing. Some of you guys pay for people to do your ironing. I would pay people to do my fussy cutting. I use my scan and cut and my Cricut to cut some of the things, but you know, some of these are a bit more intricate and they don't do it as good. It takes you longer to set it up than it does to actually cut it out. So anyway, back to what I was saying is I decided on this one, and the other reason I liked it is because it kind of goes with that kind of utilitarian look on the inside. I'd ruled this one out because I've used a lot of red throughout the inside of here, and I just wanted something a little bit different that made this stand out, and you know, kind of picked up on some of the colours and the essence of it. So whether you agree or disagree, it's my journal. Sorry?
Rachel agrees.
Rachel agrees. Right, okay, thanks Rachel. I'm eternally grateful for your support. As always, I'll send you a just for you. Mwah! There you go. You've got a kiss from me. Okay? Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. That's entirely up to you. Okay, so having decided what I wanted to use, I'm going to use it on front and back. Okay? The back of this is a bit wishy-washy. I don't mean that. I'm going to use this on the front and the back. Okay. And then you have to think about which pieces do I want to use. Okay. So I wanted to use this bit. I liked this bit. I liked the fact that it picked up a lot of the different colours, and it was quite, you know, it's quite bright compared to the rest of it. You know, it's got a lot more colour in it, okay? So, I know that I want to have a torn edge on it, just like this one has a torn edge. I want this kind of a torn edge down here, okay? But I also need a straight edge in order for it to butt up against here, okay? So then you just have to think, how wide you want it. Now, I would suggest to you, you tear your edge first, and then you decide how wide you want it, because if the tear doesn't go the way you expect it to, then you can move your straight line a bit further up. If you cut it first, you've got to work with what you've got, okay? So it's a little bit of advice. And if you can hear my stomach rumbling, I am sorry. That's all I can say. Now remember, if you're going to tear paper, that you need to tear, in order to get that split white fibrous edge, I don't know whether it's white core, I think it's a white core, in order to get that core, you have to pull the paper off. So basically you're delaminating the paper. So in order to get it on this side, which is the side I want to use, I'm going to have to pull this bit off it. So in order to tear it, I need to tear it this way, okay? So I'm initially just going to tear it, and we'll see, we'll kind of correct it as we go, okay? So I've just kind of let it do what it wants to do, but with in a controlled way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So you see how pulling it up is delaminating it and you're pulling it off. Okay, so you get that fibrous edge. So if I'd wanted without the fibrous edge, then obviously I would use either this side or I would tear it the other way. Yeah, hopefully that makes some sense to you guys. Okay, so now I've decided, quite like the tear that it's given me. I think it's organic enough. I know that I want to leave a bit of green, okay? And so that means that maybe if I cut it at where, you see there's a little 3 up here, if I cut it there, then I'm going to be kind of in the right kind of ballpark place. You know, I wasn't expecting that to go right first time, but it did. So, you know, we're working with it. Okay, so I've got many a paper cutter, and all it is what's on hand, and this one, it happens to be on hand. So I've said I want to cut it where the 3 is, roughly. So what I'll do is I'll cut just a little bit over it. Actually, I'm going to use the other edge and line it up this end. Oh, get that out of the way, Dave. Much easier then. Okay. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because then I've got more of a straight edge to butt it against. You're less likely to go askew. That's a technical term, askew. Okay, so popping that on there. Okay, just making sure I'll cut it down. There we go. So it's cut now. Whether we like it or not, we've got to work with it. Okay. So yeah. Okay, no, that's good. That's good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, so I'm not going to cut it down just yet. Okay. I'm now going to think about the back. The back isn't as big a thing for me. It's like, you know, it is what it is. So, in order to then, so this one is the front, yeah. In order to get a kind of a mirror image of that, you remember where we pulled it this way, we've got to have a straight edge on this side. Yeah, so we're having a straight edge on the left side. So that means in order to delaminate it, we've got to tear it. This side is going to be the side we pull up. And I hope you're kind of with me. And if you're kind of lost, you know, sorry. It's kind of just the way it goes when life with me, basically. So if you want me in your crafty life, you're going to have to kind of just be aware that you're going to have to, yeah, roll with the punches and kind of know that at some point you're going to be horribly lost. Okay, but you know, I don't leave people lost in a lost state. Hopefully they catch up. Okay, so on this occasion, I am going to have it, instead of having it this down here and butting this edge at the top, I'm going to butt this edge at the top because this end is the bit with more colour in it. Okay, hopefully that also makes sense. I thought that said panettone, but it doesn't. It doesn't even say anything like that. It's just that I must be thinking about food. So and also thinking panettone. Okay, so those are the 2 pieces I'm going to use. Brian's laughing at me now. So sorry, that wasn't the dinner bell, it's my scraper in the way. And the scraper's in here for cleaning the glass mat. So I used to use a metal ruler, but then when I was doing that and it stops suddenly, then your hand slides down the metal ruler and it cuts your hand. So just to be aware. Okay, so I'm going to have these these ribbons. Now, you know, initially I'd said about using the Moogler. I didn't use the Moogler because I just thought I haven't used purple in the rest of it. I'd like to use them. The Moogler is, you know, I wear Moogler aftershave, so, and I wear Moogler perfume. I will say, I will be honest, I am a 21st century man, and I don't conform to gender stereotypes and the separation, division of gender. You know, if I like something, if I like a jumper that's a women's jumper, I'll buy a women's jumper, or you know, whatever. So some of them not so much, because like I've got long arms and they end up being like this up here, or they sit and they make me look like I'm wearing a crop top because they're kind of like quite high. They don't tend to have such a long body, so and I've got a long body, so, and long arms. I am 6 foot, so but I'm also probably about 6 foot wide now, so so shut up, Dave. This random rambling is probably not good for you, is it? So what I've decided is I'm going to use these two. Now I could keep these separate, so I'm going to overlay them. I could keep them separate, and I could just, like, you know, glue these two down and have these as two loose things. But actually I kind of want that kind of a bit of, you know, you've used a bit of scrap ribbony type thing. So what I thought is I'm going to sew it. Okay, so I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it to probably about here. Okay, and then I will leave the rest free and then do the same on the other side. So I've got a long enough tie. So first of all, you've got to decide how long do you need your tie, and in order to do that, just work with one of them. Okay, so it's got to go underneath my thing. Pick the right one, Dave. Get your act together. The one thing I definitely don't struggle with is talking. Brian's agreeing. I'm not sure that that's always the best thing. I'm not going to worry too much about whether it sticks out a little bit, because if it sticks out a little bit, I'm going to be putting something on the top anyway. So like, you're not going to see the ribbon, and if you do, you see the ribbon. Meh, meh. If you see it, meh. If you don't, meh. There's a lot of meh going on. Okay, so I'm going to have that, and then you've got to think about how much you're going to need to tie with. Now, because I'm not going to worry too much, I know that was enough to tie up with, but I think I might want it a little bit longer, because I want it a little bit more stringy, if you know what I mean. A little bit more stringy. So I think I'm going to go to where it says 20 on here. Okay, and then of course, because you're going to need two, you're going to need front and a back, I'm going to do that and not get terribly technical about it, and just cut it with a pair of scissors that I don't have to hand. Oh no, I do. I lie. Okay, so just cut it off. I'll worry about the ends in a minute. Okay. So that's the two sides. There's always two sides to every story, apparently. No, there is, by the way. Just saying, you know, careful what you see, because there's always two sides to every point of view and everything that you see and witness and that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going back to being a teacher, aren't I? In my head, I'm teaching people. Feel I have to teach people things. Like when I worked as a teacher, because I worked with vulnerable adults sometimes. You have to teach people things like prevent and equality, and it all has to be not a deliberate act. It has to kind of be built into the session, so that you don't, you know, you're not saying, and now we're going to talk about, so everything you say, you have to kind of have that kind of built in. Anybody that's ever been a teacher will understand what I mean. I might have this one a little bit longer. I can always change it at a later date. Maybe get some scissors that cut something, Dave. And do the same again. I used to love working. I used to work for a long time ago, at the very start of my career. I worked for Habitat. Anybody remember Habitat? I worked in the visual merchandising for Habitat. I used to love at Christmas helping out with the wrapping of presents and cutting ribbon. Or sometimes I used to help at the haberdashery thing and cut on a table, cutting fabric with those scissors. And the sound of that, that's lovely. Don't know. I'm not going to eat it. I don't know why. Anyway, shut up, Dave. You're just sounding more and more weird the longer you go on. Okay, so I'm going to put it on and think about it. Okay, so I'm going to have it here-ish. So up to the 14, and then I'm going to sew it maybe to, well, I'm going to sew it to where it ends on this one. So I'm going to just be off camera for a few minutes because I'm going to sew. I have my sewing machine set up. I cannot compute things when so Brian has just shown me a sign. He needs something. He needs vintage photo and a doorbell, which are over my side. And I'm not very good at reading what somebody's written on a card and continuing to talk. So I apologise. He might as well have just said, "Can I have?" Because
I thought this might have been easier.
So yeah, so that's why the silence happened. It wasn't because it wasn't because I suddenly turned around and thought, sewing machine's not there. No, it is there. Set it up. Okay, so I'm going to sew to there. Okay, so I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. So don't talk about me. All right, I can hear you. Well, I can't hear you actually. So like that's a lie. Rubbish at lying. So okay, so let's just set it up. So let's just make sure that you have a zigzag stitch on, Dave, because that's what you wanted. Okay, so not going to get too worried about it. My sewing machine is literally just for crafting. I don't sew things unless I have to. Oh, that's the wrong stitch, Dave. Sorry? Yeah, Brian's the fabric softener. Brian's a fabric softener. Brian's the fabric crafter. Oh, see, I can't do things and talk. Well, you guys clearly haven't noticed that, have you? But okay, so let's try again. So I'm sorry, I just realised I did stop talking again. And I'm just going to go backwards a bit and go forwards a bit just to make sure it doesn't unravel. Oh, come on. Right, so I've just stitched it. I like when you go backwards and forwards over the same bit, I like it when it looks like that, when it's kind of a bit messy looking. Not the neatest sewer in the world, not the straightest sewer in the world, but hey, nobody cares. And also, the bit you start off with, nobody's going to see. How did I manage to cut that piece of thread and not cut it? Anyway, so that's that side. Are you still with me? Are you all still there?
Yeah.
Anybody there?
Still there.
Okay, cool. Okay, so so the ribbon on this side. So it's kind of gone a bit weird. It's kind of like going around in it, but I don't care. I don't care. I'll stitch it down and it's going to look like that, isn't it? Okay. Just see if I can just kind of straighten it a little bit so that I've got at least a fighting chance of getting it sewn on. Okay, so I remember I'm going to stitch this side because this is the front and this is the back, and you want them to meet in the middle. And also I want to make sure that they're not moths, Dave. What are they? Bees are the right way up. Yeah, never mind. It's all right, folks. Don't worry. I won't hurt you. You're too far away to start with, but also I'm not a dangerous type. Only to myself. Oh. You know what you do? You know when you prep everything and it all goes lovely, and then like you turn around and you go to sew it on the sewing machine, and then it falls off, and you're back to where you started. So I want the thing to look like a continuation, so I want to make sure that's the same way up. The tape measure. Words, they are escaping me today and always. Oh, I didn't decide where I was doing it to. Oh, hang on, folks. Hold your horses. Okay, to about number 42. About number 42. Have you seen the number 42s that go down here? Alright, sure, Dave. I've always found if you want to sew in a straight line, it's better to go faster. Otherwise, you overthink the whole thing, and then you end up with a wonky line. Well, I don't know whether that's factual. That's just how it works for me. So, as I say, I used to get told off at school. I used to get, Mr. Flynn, stop racing the machine. So, when I was sewing, because putting your foot down, it's like you were in Brands Hatch. So, not that I know anything about racing other than Brands Hatch. I've just turned around to throw that in the bin. The bin's not there, so I've just thrown it on the floor. There we go. Okay, so that's what I've done. Okay, that's what it is. It is what it is, innit? Okay, we said it's going to go to about 14. So I'm going to be confident now and stick it down. Okay, so I want to give myself again a bit of a chance to get it so it doesn't look too jarring on the eye, and try and get it at least somewhere in the middle. So the length of the height of the journal is 24 centimetres, or approximately 9.5 inches, but I'm going to work in centimetres. So half of 24, as we all know, is 12. So take the ruler off, Dave, and then don't make any mark on the page whatsoever. Or don't make any mark on the page because you can't find your pencil. Well, that's not a pencil, Dave. There you go. So, number 12. One and a duck, number 12. I don't think they say that in bingo anyway, so, don't know. I don't know, is there anything for 12 in bingo? I don't know. I've only ever played bingo once. And I won a wooden ruler. That's how long ago it was. Yeah, so there we go. I'm gonna glue that about there. Okay, don't care if it's not right. I don't care what you think. I don't care anymore. Just leave me alone. I'm going home.
No, you're not.
I am home. That's why I'm not going home. So I'm just going to glue. I find it easier to put the glue on the fabric, and then than trying to get it in the right place on the book. I'm going to put a bit of extra glue down the sewing to stop it unthreading, unraveling. That's the word. Got there in the end. So pop that down. I'm entertaining as ever, not necessarily deliberately, but always entertaining. So stick it down, Dave, and when you stick it down, don't squash it so that it moves. There we go. That's on there. Okay, and I'm going to then I'm going to stick this bit down before it all moves and goes horribly wrong again. Okay, so I'm going to stick this down. So again, I'm going to use some of this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, so because I've sewn two together, I'm going to put a bit of extra glue under the two so that they stay together. And we want to be together. That's from an advert, but I can't remember what. My mind is just filled with quotes and adverts and song lyrics and yeah, more than you need to know. It's filled with more than you need to know. Just leave it at that. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of extra over the top just to make sure that we get a nice secure bond. It's definitely bonded to my fingers. And then, sorry, Brook Bond. No, it's nothing like Brook Bond. It's not tea. So, and again, I'm not going to cut this down. I know you're going to think, oh, I would have cut it, Dave. You should have cut it. I'm going to cut it off with my scalpel because, oh, Dave, you're not going to do anything of the sort at the minute. You're going to wipe that bit off because you've forgotten to actually ink the the end. The bit that you wanted to do, you've forgotten to do. It's all over my hands now. It's all gone. It's it. That's it. It's gone. It's gone out. It's happened. Okay, if I put it down, it'll get glued to the surface. So I need to find something I can stick it onto. Oh, I've got a sorry, folks. Just bear with me while I have a bit of a mare. You know me. I like to have a bit of a mare on camera. It's not. I'm not me unless I'm like, you know, made a boob of it somewhere. I can hear beeping, but I don't know what it is. It's my people. They've come back for me. Brian's not helping. You know how like normally like he's asking me for things, and now I'm like wanting him to kind of help me. He's not helping me at all. So it's all right. Done it. Right, this is my non-stick mat. Sorry, it's got like faux sellotape on it, but it's just going to be there just to stop it sticking to the mat. Okay, I'm also going to need him because I need vintage photo back. I don't need the door because I've got my own. So, well, you know, these things happen. At least I realised before I'd stuck it down. So, could have been worse, couldn't it? I should have known better. Oh, shut up. So anyway, you guys, you have to put up with a lot. You know, I bet you're all glad it's the last one. So I don't know what I'm doing next, by the way. Don't know what I'm doing next in life. So, you know, got no chance with this, with the crafty side of things. It'll come to me. I've got a few ideas. I've kind of mooted some ideas to Brian, and like, you know, what do you think? And maybe I should do this. And, you know, I'm surprised he hasn't said maybe you should just shut up. So,
Known you a long time,
yeah. So he's just said, I don't know if you heard him, but like he's known me a long time and he's used to me. So basically, all I'm going to do is I'm now bleeding it in from the edge. I don't know whether I want to go all the way. Makes a change, Dave. You don't know whether you want to go all the way. Shut up, Dave. Brian's going inside voice because that's I often give away far too much. I don't know. I quite like it. I quite like the colour change. I like colour changing. If you saw my Christmas tree, I went out yesterday and bought a nice real tree. I always have a real tree. And it's perfect shape. It's not too big. It's bigger than I wanted, but it's, you know, it's not too big. And I always have lots of different coloured glass baubles on it. The baubles that I've collected through the years, not through the barricades, because that's, you know, a song. I've collected them through. Really, I don't know what I'm talking about, do I, folks?
You can't do the right key for Spandau Ballet, don't you?
No, I can't do. Definitely can't get the right key for Spandau Ballet. I can sing in two keys. I can sing in the key of me and Yale. So, I'm here for the jokes, folks. So, can't remember what I was talking about now. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas tree. Oh, Christmas. Oh, shut up. So I bought a Christmas tree yesterday, and it's a real one, because I always have a real one, because, you know, if you're going to have one, have a real one. So I've got a Christmas tree. It looks really nice. I put my colour changey lights on it. That's why I was talking about it, because I like colour changing. And I've got colour changey lights, and like, my Brian says I'm, you know, kind of go into my typical autistic thing and like have my it's that sensory thing. I like having my own little sensory room. So that's exactly what I've done. So that's now all dried out. So you have to start that again, Dave. Anyway, I personally think that looks better. I don't know whether you think the same, but yeah, it's definitely a bit more in keeping now. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on there. So let's get back to doing what you were doing, Dave. I'm sticking it down. Hopefully your glue hasn't dried out in the meantime. No, we're all right. We're all right. It's going now. It started. So just making sure that you catch the edge. so that it doesn't like flick up. That's making no sense either day. So it's always interesting when I read back your comments. You know, sometimes I have no idea what some of you are talking about, and I know I'm perhaps being a little bit too honest, but you know me, I'm very honest. I have no idea what you're talking about because you're agreeing with something I'm saying on a live feed, but then when I read it, I don't read it in context, and I'm like, no idea. Can't remember what I said. So I'm just saying. So sometimes I like your comments, but don't necessarily know what they're about.
I'm following them, so you're all right.
So okay. So all right, Brian's following along today. So yeah. So at least he can put it in context for me. So when like somebody's like laughed about something I've done or said or whatever, and like, you know, we've got a bit more of an idea about what you were talking about, rather than me just being polite and just laughing. I was brought up well, you know. I was just brought up to, like, you know, just politely laugh and not. Well, I can't remember what how Brian says that I speak. So plum 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 plum. I'm from Coventry. I don't have a plummy accent at all. I don't know. I don't have a Coventry accent either. That's true. But people in Coventry don't think I've got a Coventry accent either. So yes, I was just always told to speak, you know, enunciate, and you know, if you don't know what that word means, don't use it. So although that hasn't stopped me. Okay, so that's that first bit, and then we're going to flip it over. We're going to stick the other bit on. Well, we're going to colour it up first. Colour it up. We said we're going to use the bottom half, didn't we? Bottom half. See, my Coventrian does come out occasionally. No, don't get
you. Yorkshire and your Devon and your French and your...
Yes. Yeah, let's not get me started on my accents, Brian. You know what I'm like once I've started. So, I hope kind of, you know, you understand what I'm talking about, because if you don't, I can't help you, because I don't either. So, so yeah, just get my brush in now and just blend that all in. And the reason why my voice has gone all jiggly is because when I do this, everything moves. I get a bit out of control, like a lava lamp. I've just made Brian laugh. Literally, not lol, but literally laugh out loud. So it said it's funny because it's true, which I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. Started me off now. If he starts me off, I don't have my inhaler, and I won't be able to breathe. So I'm actually doing this with tears in my eyes. Crafting with tears in my eyes. There you go. Bit of ultra box for you. Oh dear, I don't even know what I was laughing about now. I was laughing at you, laughing at me. Oh, lava lamp.
I'm going to go find it in here.
I thought he was going to go and find... He says, I'm just going to go and find... And I thought he was going to go and find a lava lamp to compare me to. But no, he's getting my inhaler because I'm getting a bit breathy. Oh, blooming COVID. That's what it's left me with. It's left me breathless. Breathless for craft. So I've got 4 inhalers, and in this house I'm lucky to be able to find 1. Yeah, so I've don't lose many things, but like unless it's glued to me, I do. I never lose my phone. I have panics in the street about where's my phone, and I'm on it. Done that a couple of times. But yeah, inhalers, lose them all the time. Have no idea where. All 4 of them. They need like a tracking app for inhalers, I think. So if I haven't gone quite far enough. It's not like me. I usually go all the way, not quite far enough. Oh,
have fun, but not too much.
Brian's brought my inhaler to kind of ground me on my fun. Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, but like, don't make me laugh. It made me laugh the other night. I can't remember. Because we were talking about his accent and my accent, and yes, it was plum 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 is what he says that I sound like. But yeah, we were laughing so hard and heartily. I literally couldn't breathe. And the dog was like all panicking, thinking he's gonna die and I won't be able to eat. That's all he was thinking. I don't think he was thinking I'm gonna lose my dad. He was just thinking, what do I do? I won't be able to eat. That's how he talks, by the way. It's that high pitched voice. That's what he talks like in my head. Oh, I've put the ruler down. Where's that? No. Oh dear, folks. What are we like? Hey? Because I've said his name is here. Thanks. That's it. You lick my wrist, why don't you? Good boy. You're very cold. What's wrong with you? Where have you been? It's obviously been lying upside down on the floor or something. It's cold, so. Oh, thank you for yawning. Your breath smells beautiful. Yes. Not like dead things at all, or compost heaps, actually, is what it smells like. So, okay, so let's get this out. So Worcester's here in the room, so he's with us. He's in the room.
Wait for things to bang and crash.
Yes, the banging and crashing is not a presence in the room. It's Worcester. So just so you're aware. So because he gets a bit excited and his tail. I have even had to put my my Christmas tree up on a table because otherwise, the ornaments and everything is like fair game to him. He doesn't try to attack them. He just gets a bit happy around them and it gets a bit waggy, and his tail kind of knocks everything off. Okay, so got a little bit sticking out. I'm not worried about that. You might be. I just kind of think it kind of adds to the whole essence. Again, I'm going to stick this one down, but this time I've inked the ribbon, so I don't have to worry. I don't have to go, oh no, I haven't done that. It's just, it's one of those things, folks. It happens, doesn't it? So, and with me, it's all part of the fun, isn't it? So, crafting with me is fun. So, crafting anyway. I think generally crafting should be fun. If you're having a bit of a stress or a nightmare about it, I've read a few people's posts where they're saying, "Oh, I'm really stressing out. I've got loads of Christmas cards to make." Or blah, blah, blah. Well, two things: I don't make Christmas cards because I don't have the time, and secondly, if it's stressing you out, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
You're just doing it wrong.
Yeah, so craft should be feeling really joyful and a bit zen-like and taking you to different places, usually hobbycraft, to go and buy more stuff. No, it should be taking you to better mindful places. So, and it should be making you feel joy and putting you in a good frame of mind. And that's why when I'm in the craft room and it gets all a bit laughy and a bit double entendre-y, it's because my mind is in a good state. So rather than just in a state, which is sometimes is at work. That was putting glue on there was like painting the fourth bridge. By the time I got to the end, the other bit was almost dry. So that's a reference that not many people will understand. So, okay, butting that up to the edge. Get me butt right up to the edge. It's never a problem. I can do that from the other side of the room. So, does my bum look big in this? What, in this room? Yes. So now I've stuck that down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to use my scalpel. Scalpel? Yes! Scalpel! Although I would use my scalpel if I knew where it was. Oh, rookie error. Don't know where it is. Okay. Okay, so maybe I'll just leave it on there. What have I done with my scalpel? Brian.
Don't know. It'll be under something somewhere.
It'll be, yeah, so Brian's just been very helpful and said it'll be under something somewhere. No. Oh, blimey, I've tipped my glass mat up now and I can't get it down on the floor, on the thing. It could be anywhere and it probably is. I'll just sing to you while I find it. I think I found it. Found it. Panic over.
Where was it?
Call off the search. Call the dogs back.
Where was it?
It was where it's supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I couldn't find it, because like things where they're supposed to be in this craft room, what's that all about? Okay, if you're not very confident freehanding it and you think you might cut the top edge of it off, then don't freehand it. Or a finger, then don't. You can always use a ruler. The other way to do it is if you put a ruler up this way, and then you can cut down and press against this. But I'm happy to just go for it and que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Blimey, it's like Top of the Pops tonight, isn't it? Come out with that many different songs. It was only a winter's tale.
Told you, David,
Just another winter's tale. Why should the world take note? This is why I don't sing. Why should the world take notice of my singing? Okay, so I'm going to put that on the front. I'm going to put the little label in. Common brim. Not sure whether I'm going to have it over the top or the bottom, or I might even, remember I left a little tucky bit. Might even have it in the tucky bit. Quite like that there. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have that on the front. And you've got 10 minutes. On the back, I've got some more Edith Holden cutty, outy, bitty things. I've got a ribbon that won't leave me alone now. That ribbon, since I said I wasn't going to use that ribbon, it's just got in the way. Okay, so I've got the other bits that I've cut out, so maybe I'll think about something else. I like that, but it's giant, ginormous. Do I want just something that's kind of like a little essence, a little nod to the front, a little doffing of my cap? I quite like that. Maybe that. I don't know. I can't remember what that is. Oh, it's hawthorn, isn't it? It's haw. What did you call me? Sorry. Sorry. Oh dear. Oh, it's never a dull moment, Never a dull moment. So, no, I like the haw. Or I like that. Just think that's a little bit little. Yeah, quite like the haw. Yeah, I think I might have the haw. Well, did I leave a little gap on this one? I thought I did, but clearly not. I obviously stuck it down. Oh no, I did. It's there. So I might have it so that it's like that, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, folks, whether you liked it or not, I'm doing that. And I'm going to ink the edge on this one to make it stand out a little better. Brian has just put the ink pad back into shot now because, no, it's not in shot actually, but close by so that I can use it, because I think he just stole it away from me a minute ago. So, not going to be too fussy about the inky binky, the inky minky, whatever. Oh, shut up, Dave. Of this, the inky of this, not a minky. A minky is a whale, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm having a whale of a time. So, oh dear, the terrible jokes are coming out now. Not even jokes, they're puns. Well, somebody has already mentioned that they think I should be in a Carry On movie, but maybe I shouldn't carry on. I should just stop right now. Stop and desist. Step away from the joke book, Dave. All the puns. So, I'm going to stick this one on the back because I know what I'm going to do with this one. I did have Prudential. What?
You said something earlier and said I don't know where it's from. It's from an advert.
All right.
Becca's just put the Prudential.
Oh right, okay, cool. Thanks, Becca. I don't know what the thing was now, but
It's one of those. I can't remember the reference.
yeah, I can't remember the reference that I used that now links to something that we know the answer to now. But you know, all right. I always watch back. You know, I don't have a problem with watching myself on screen. I really don't. I doesn't. I mean, sometimes I like, oh, shut up, Dave. And sometimes I slap my head in like horror at what I've said out loud or what I've done, or I'm sure I'll have a bit of a moment about like, oh, Dave, why can't you didn't ink the edge and before you put the glue on and then you have to like backtrack. But you know what? It is what it is. I keep saying that. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Okay, so I'm going to stick that in there. I'll stick that on there. I'll do that. I'll put that on there. And that is going to be how it's going to be. So that's the back, remember, folks. So if you're thinking, well, that's this obviously stuck that up on the wrong way. Let's just check. No, it is the back. Having said that, I was thinking, oh no, is it the back? No, it is. I'm all right. It's the back. Now I do have the label for it, but I don't have it to hand. What?
Becca, the reference was, we want to be together.
Oh, we want to be together.
Becca.
Thanks, Becca. Love you. What would I do without you guys? Honestly, I haven't. Do I want to ink this one? No, I don't. I don't know whether I do. I don't. No, not doing it. Not doing it. You can't make me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay, isolation for the lates.
Sorry?
I said isolation for the lates.
Why? What?
Leah's only just joined.
Oh no, Leah. That's it. Forget it. I'm not making you a Christmas card, as we've established. I'm not making anybody a Christmas card, so.
She promised to watch it on catch-up, though.
Oh, that's all right.
She's been painting.
She's getting ketchup. She's going to watch it with ketchup.
Watch it with ketchup.
You might need some garnish, I tell you now. So, well, it's not even a garnish, is it? It's a condiment. It's a condiment. In fact, when I go supermarket, this is totally off topic. Well, not totally. Oh, yeah, it is probably. When I go shopping, I always look for the condiments. And they're not called condiments in supermarkets anymore because I don't think anybody knows what they are, what that is. So I'm looking. Yes, Brian's going plum 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 plum. I don't have a plummy accent. Do you guys think I've got a plummy accent?
You're in Yorkshire. We like sauce.
When I speak properly, I speak.
Aisle.
When I speak properly, I speak properly. So I speak like this. This is how I speak. When I get with Brian, I end up speaking like a Yorkshireman. So, except for I don't.
A long time now.
Yeah, I have lived in Yorkshire a long time. 14 years, is it? Something like that. I know, but like I don't speak like this, do I? Like normally, like I'm like to get a black eye if I speak like this, because somebody's going to say, "Oh, you take it, Mickey."
We'll just stamp on your toe.
Oh, toe. That's it. Toe. Brian says toe or tor, they sound the same to me. Toe and tor are distinctly different to me. The same with bowl and what was the other one? Ball. Bowl and ball. Bowl and ball. Bowl and ball. When Brian says them, right, on his live, get him to say toe and tor and bowl and ball, and you'll see what I mean. I was in absolute fits. And then he says that is me, that I've got a funny accent. I ain't got a funny accent, governor.
Living around here, you have.
I've developed a really weird accent living around here. So it's not even Yorkshire. I kind of get a bit of like, everything in there. Okay, so that's roughly where we are. I might actually put this on here, and this is This is just a rust. I bought some those little like file slotty things. Oh, don't ask me what they are. It's one of them. What is it? It's that. That's what it is. And I rusted them. So the peroxide style rusting. So I might have that on here with a little label in it, and I don't know where I'm going to have it. It won't go on the spine, so I won't put it on the spine. It'd be spineless of me. So I might have it like up here or somewhere. Again, I know I've said that this is the final video, and it is the final video, but I might just add a few little finishing touches. But we now have a tieable journal with a nice little bit of a bit on the end. Yeah, it might cut a little bit down, might make it, I don't know why I've suddenly developed this accent. I might make it like that, might not. I'll see how we go. I was leaving that for a reason, Dave. I'm going to move my Edith Holden. Sorry, Edith. Move them over there. I will put the Hawthorne label on the back. But essentially, that is it. So, what have we done? I know we've got a minute left. A minute to win it. But you don't mind hanging on for a little bit longer. So, we've got, this is the front. This is the spine. And this is the back. And then we've got here, we've got a few tucks in here. We've got this is a like a clip spot, so obviously this is too big, but you could put something in there, and you know, another tucky thing. So a bit of rusted metal. We've got this that's got some journal cards in there. We've got another journal card in there, another journal card in there, and we've got one in here. We've got somewhere to write on here. Okay, we've got this that unfolds. It's got a little pocket in there. And then it wraps back up again and tucks in there. We've got some envelopes here, which have got spaces for journal cards. This one's got a tag in the top. Yeah, we've got this that's got a journal card in here, but you can see it through this bit here. We've got this in here as well, which unfolds. It's a, oh, it's the wrong way up. It's a bookmark type thing. Oh, the reason why it's upside down is because you need the tassel to be in this bit, this gappy bit here. We've got another bit here. We've got a space for a journal card in there. We've got a tag in here. We've got plenty of spaces for more things, so all of these are little pockets as well. We've got another tag in the back here that's made with a bit of wallpaper. I don't know why I have to say wallpaper like that. We've got another space in here for another tag. We've got our little fold out folio thing here. So a concertina wallet with our journal card in, with a few places, little tucky things in different places, little pockets, pocket here as well, and a pocket at the front here. Yeah, okay, so we've got all of those. I know you've seen all of this before, but I'm finishing it off. I am putting this to bed. Now, as much as I've loved doing this, it's been epic, hasn't it? So you probably want to see something else now. So another few journal cards in here. And then we've got a space for a tuck in here. There's nothing in this envelope. This is an envelope. I've got didn't put anything in there. That's for whoever wants to have this, or you know, whoever buys it, basically. And that's it. So we have finished it. Like I say, I think I might cut the ends down. I will just say one thing just before I go. If you want to cut ends of a ribbon and you want to cut them to get that nice V, instead of Ving it, fold it over, okay? And then if you cut, so with the V, with the folded bit towards you, and you cut away from you at an angle, so cut towards the cut edge. Usually use a pair of scissors that are much better. What you'll get is you'll get that V, and it's much nicer and it's much tidier and it looks better. So I might do that on the ends of mine, or I might fray them. So there it is. We have it. That is the final of the file folder folio finale. and it's finished, and it's fun. And my name's Flynn, so like it's Flynn's file folder folio finale. So I'm going to try finally finish. Yes, so I'm going to pick another letter of the alphabet next time. No. I'm going to try not to have something that is so hard to say. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the journey. I hope you've enjoyed watching me do this. I hope you've enjoyed the entertainment that I have provided you with, whether that be intentionally or unintentionally. I'm grateful for anybody that's watched any of this. I'm grateful for anybody that's stuck around as well, because I'm one of those things. I'm one. You either like me or you don't. And if you don't, I can't help that. I'm not changing for you. So. And Brian says, nor should I. So, like I say, I might put that on. So, the final video on YouTube might have a few extra things on it. When I've finished it completely, I will put a photo on the group so you can see it, or it might be a little bit of a video so you can watch it. So anyway, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. You know what I'm going to say. I love you all, without exception, and I genuinely do. I hope that those people that have watched me that aren't going to watch me again have enjoyed it and have a fantastic Christmas. Make the most of what Christmas is. And
just before you go,
Brian's saying just before I go.
Young is asking what glue you're using.
All right, okay. I am using Beacon 3-in-1, and it's put into a Sugar Bell. This bottle isn't quite as squeezy, so it's harder to do, and it's a bit harder on your wrists, on a bit of wrist action. When you get as fragile and old as I am, I've gone for a Sugar Bell thing. This is what we're all using. It's got a fine point on the top, but the glue itself is either 3-in-1, Fabri-Tac, or Fabrifix. They all do a very similar thing. For a paper crafter, they do very similar things. They can be mixed as well. I think they're acetone based.
We're pretty sure they're the same thing.
Yeah, we're pretty sure they're the same thing. If you look on their website, it says that they do different things. But for what we use it for in craft, they all are interchangeable. And I, like I say, the 3-in-1, the reason why I buy the 3-in-1 now, I used to buy Fabri-Tac, is it's cheaper. On Amazon, it's cheaper. So, I think it's because it's less popular and they're trying to sell it. So, so that's the glue. So, thanks for that. Thanks for that question. I'm grateful for anybody who's got any questions. You want to drop them in the feed, and I'll try and answer your questions as much as I can.
Becca has two things. Go for it, Becca. Number 1, Harriet thinks it's very cute.
Thanks, Harriet.
And number 2, she wants to know how you say bath and grass.
Okay, so how I naturally say bath and grass is I say bath and grass, but as that caused me no end of bullying at school and in the workplace, people constantly picking you up on it, I say bath and grass now, but I used to say bath and grass. So I used to say glass, and I used to say, I still say scone, not scone. I've never said vase. I've always said vase, or vase. I've never said vase either. So I've always said tomato, not tomato. And I've always said potato, not potato. So let's call the whole thing off. So anyway, thanks for the questions. Like I say, drop them in the feed, and I'll answer them as best I can. And if you've asked me how I say something, I'll send you a video message, so telling you how I say it. Okay.
Ooh,
so yeah, so there's a challenge for you. So yeah, thanks very much, folks. I really genuinely do. I genuinely love you all. Until you give me a reason not to. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the festive period. I will be doing more videos on the run up to Christmas. I have thought about something that I'm going to propose to Lou. I'm not proposing to Lou, by the way. I'd just like clarify that. there was a comma between that in that sentence. There's something I've thought about. I'm going to propose to Lou and see what she thinks. It's something I need to speak to Brian about as well. But I hope you have a lovely festive period. If I don't see you before, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and make sure that this Christmas is less about the gifts that you give and the gift of love that you spread. Okay, so be kind to each other, spread the word of kindness, spread the word of craft through kindness, and I will see you all very soon. I love you all without exception, and I'm off. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kisses for all. You know, I've only given you 3, but like, you know, I used to only have 3 watchers, to be fair. So I'm not giving you. There's currently 10 people. I'm not giving you 10 kisses. I'm off. You take care, folks. And I'll see you soon. I will say goodbye. Goodbye. Right, I'm going to sing while I find the off button. So. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I'm going goodbye.